Hi, Gates of Praise family. It is really good to be connecting with you guys tonight via video in this way. It's a little bit different to the way we've been connecting over the last few weeks with Facebook Live. I do enjoy the live situation. I get a little bit of feedback, but tonight I'm just talking straight into the camera with no feedback, and you'll be watching this video on YouTube or on Facebook a little bit later. But I just wanted to say tonight, this is the announcement regarding what's going to happen going forward for this month for Gates of Praise Church. I know you guys have been wanting to know. We've had people asking, and I wanted to say just off the bat, first of all, how proud I am and how grateful I am to be part of this incredible church family. The love of God in this church is so evident. The care for people, so many practical needs that have been taken care of by people within our church, just looking after people, loving on people, and just showing people who Jesus is. And I know a lot of the acts of kindness and acts of service that you guys have done over these past few months, a lot of it no one even knows about and won't ever know about it, but God knows. And I want to say your reward in heaven is great, and that is the truth. It's an incredible thing to be part of a community that lives out the gospel. We believe the gospel and we live out the gospel, and that's amazing. I've also heard such incredible testimonies of people who have used this time to press into God, to engage with God like never before. People have fallen in love with the Word of God again. They've fallen in love with Jesus in such a real way. They've seen Jesus come through in such powerful ways, and there've just been some wonderful testimonies. I'm really grateful to those of you who've shared those stories with me, because it is really encouraging to hear that. So as you know, last week, Tuesday night, our president announced some changes as far as lockdown 3 is concerned. That started today, and under the Disaster Management Act, lockdown 3 regulations now include certain regulations that relate to church and to church meetings, and some of those things are that pastors have been declared essential services. For that, I'm very grateful. It means that I get to serve you guys in a better way over this next season. And also that they've opened up church admin staff can be back at buildings under certain regulations. And the one that you guys have all been wanting to know about is that meetings are now allowed. Gatherings of up to 50 people are now allowed under these current regulations this month under lockdown 3. And I know so many of you are happy about that, and you are looking forward to getting back together to meet face to face. I am probably the first one in line saying yes to that. So we really do want to gather together as a church as soon as possible, and that is the goal. I can't wait to see your faces. I can't wait to talk face to face, even if it means a mask over our faces. That's okay. Just seeing your faces and being able to talk and communicate, it will be just absolutely wonderful. So we're working towards that. That is the goal. And I want to say this, we're not going to drag out getting to that goal unnecessarily. That said, though, there are some very stringent regulations that have been laid out by government for meetings of the church kind to take place. And these regulations don't make it that simple just to get together. It's not just about getting together in a place. There are some stringent measures that have been put in place. And some of those include the obvious, like we have to wear a mask. Social distancing is a given. Those things are compulsory. But also screening of every individual must take place. Anyone with any underlying health issues needs to stay at home. Anyone above the age of 60 is strongly encouraged to stay at home. These are all part of the regulations that have been laid out. And also congregational singing at this time is not permitted. And so those are the regulations that have been laid out for us. And we are obviously looking at that and wanting to understand how we can meet together within all of that. So I want to be clear that at all times we want to walk in integrity as a church in serving you and everyone in our church. And at the same time, we want to honor our government. And the reason for that is because we want to honor God. God has the final say and the final authority in our lives and in this church. And as a result of that, we are pressing into God for what is the best way forward. We want to do our part as part of this nation to fight this virus with everybody else. And we need to know what that looks like. So I've been getting input from various people within our leadership team and listening to advice of others within our church, as well as from churches that we have relationship with out there. Many churches that I know of are doing things completely differently to each other, and people are being creative in this. But in weighing up all this information, from the government regulations to the input that I've received from a number of different people, I've come to the conclusion that to immediately go back to gatherings of 50 people from this coming Sunday is not the wise decision. I care for every single one of you. I want every single person to feel safe, and not just to feel safe, but to be safe. I also fully believe in God's supernatural power, in his ability to heal and his ability to protect us as we gather together, and to keep our meetings virus-free. And I really believe that God is going to do that. But we also don't have to prove anything as a church, and there is no need to presumptuously resume meetings on our church property until we have the peace of God to make that decision. So I know so many of you are craving fellowship, and I want to emphasize that again. I'm so aware of that. I know many people have not been able to engage with others as much as you normally would, or as much as you would like to. And I want to do whatever is possible to facilitate that need, even as we go forward. And we're gonna see what we can do with all of that. And we long to be together, don't we? That is the goal. That's what we're aiming for. And we're going to take this a week at a time, and we're going to trust the Lord in the process to do what he wants us to do. I've had to make the decision for myself. I've had to make the decision to quieten the many voices that are around me in this season and to hear from God. What is he saying? Because ultimately it's his voice. His voice is the one that counts. So practically on Sunday, the 7th of June, I will be on our church property and broadcasting from our church venue, which is really, really exciting. And we'll be broadcasting as we normally do, Facebook Live, as we've done for the last 10 weeks, Facebook Live, connecting in that way, sending out the audios for those who are unable to be on the Facebook Live connection. And I will have a small team with me to assist me with that, which is really exciting, because for the first time in a long time, I'll have a few faces around me and not just be looking into the camera. And of course, all of you will be online and engaging. And so it's really going to be great and wonderful. And I'm really excited about this. So we're going to take this, as I said, a week at a time and really follow the Holy Spirit's leading in this. And I'll continue to give you guys relevant information as is necessary in the process. And can I ask us all to be spending much time in prayer over this? We want to be wise. We want to walk in faith. We want to trust the Lord in this, and we want to follow his leading. And I believe that as a church, we get to model something as a church for our community and for our nation, and leading as a church in our community in integrity, in honor, and in shining our light in a powerful way in this time. It's not a time to shrink back. Definitely not a time to shrink back. This is a time to press forward. It's a time to engage in whatever we are able to engage in. I can tell you this from my side, I'm going to be giving it everything I've got, especially in our new preaching series now, Unlocked. I'm going to be going for it. You have my commitment on that. I'm really excited about this series. I'm excited about what God is going to do in us and adjust in us. And we're not going to be limited by whether we face-to-face or not face-to-face. We're going to be going for this. And my heart and my ultimate aim is that when we do all get together, and we're all together somewhere in the hopefully not too distant future, everybody in the building celebrating God, being with each other, that we will we'll be reaping the fruits of this series in our lives, that everything is going to be different. I am being so stirred up inside, and I believe God is speaking to me. And I can promise you this, that we are not going back to normal, but we are looking forward to the new normal in him, his normal. What is his heart for us? And we're going to keep pushing forward from glory to glory, from faith to faith in this season and beyond. This year is an incredible year, and as we make decisions in this year, they are determining the way we will do church and live our lives going into the next few years. And so we're using this time wisely, and I encourage you to make the God decision every step of the way. I want to just remind us again, our first responsibility always is to the King and to his kingdom. So everything that we do in our honoring of earthly authorities, in our honoring of protocols and regulations and all of that is all submitted to our honoring of the King and his kingdom. And we operate out of faith. We don't operate out of fear. It is his voice alone that matters and that counts in our church. Amen to that. So that's what we're going after. We want to honor him above everything else. And we are excited about this season and what he's going to do. And whenever there is more relevant information, I'll give that out to you. I look forward to seeing you guys in a few different ways over this week. We have Men's Connect tomorrow. We have prayer on Wednesday. We have worship on Thursday. And then we'll be meeting as church together on Sunday, and I'll be broadcasting from the Gates of Praise venue. Very, very excited about that. Keep connecting with each other, phone each other, get on Zoom calls with each other. I know that a lot of the life groups are connected via Zoom. I know some of you are not part of life groups, and as soon as we're able to facilitate something more, we will do our best to do that. But at least for now, all the men, you get to connect tomorrow evening, and everyone gets to connect in prayer. Everyone gets to engage in worship on Thursday. So there are various vehicles that we have at our disposal. So let's make use of those. Let's stay connected. Let's run strong. Let's keep trusting Jesus. And if anyone has got any challenges, any practical needs, please let us know. We want to help. We want to serve. It's hard to know what's going on, though, if someone doesn't say it. So please speak. Let us know what is going on in your lives. If you've got any questions as well, contact us, send a message to the church cell phone, and we will happily answer any questions that we are able to answer. Awesome. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Love you guys. Keep well, and we will see you all soon.